Yeah, hi friends, welcome to Dwarka Education. In the today's sessions, we are just going to discuss about the fast APIs. In today's session, we are just going to discuss about basics, what exactly fast API is, and in next sessions, we will going to the hands-on practice on the fast API and go into a deep dive of that one. Okay, so let's start with the fast APIs. So first, going into the fast API, let's first we'll discuss about it key features. What exactly the key features from other languages, that why it's so popular, and what's exactly the objective of when we should use this. So in most of the data science uh, stuffs, you will see the fast API is growing very fastly. So the reason of that one is when you are developing anything in Node, Go, it's very fast kind of thing. So here same as in fast APIs, very fast performance as a part of the Node and the Go languages. Okay, another one is when we are just going to develop any code in fast API as compared to the other languages, it's as compared whatever the statements that I have picked it from here, our key features, they are taken from the its official website. So officially they will commit that it will be just increase the speed of the development to 200 to 300% when we are using the fast APIs. But it actually it depends on the how much you are comfortable, how much you have the knowledge about the fast API. It depends on that. It's my personal opinion, but they commit that if anybody have the knowledge of the fast API as compared to the other languages, the things can be developed more quicker than in fast APIs. Okay, another one is the great editor support. So right nowadays, I think this statement is a little bit contradictory, and it's a point to be discussion here. So the things will be shorted in case of the fast APIs as well, in other languages as well. So fine, they also provided the editor and compilation, everything. So definitely it takes less time to be compiled, but debugging, it's I'm not commit right now that it's take less time. It depends on how you know the things. Okay, so the better is the compilation is anyhow it's faster or quicker as compared to the other languages. So if I'm compare with the Node.js and this one, so I feel it's not so much major difference. Almost it's a similar. So another part one, that one is the design to be easy to use and learn. Yeah, that's definitely correct statement. So if I have some other programming languages, and if I just want to be jump into the fast API, so you will have take less time to be learn the things. Okay. Another one is the minimization code duplication. That statement is also absolutely correct. So you have to write minimal code, as well as the things you will write Node.js, Go, Java, Python, and Python means you have used other Django and all. So you have to write minimum stuff to be configure the APIs and all. So your code will be faster ready for the production in case of the fast APIs, and it will be automatically interactive documentation. So definitely they will provide uh, Swagger kind of documentation support on the productions as well. So it depends. So Swagger, I don't believe that the documentation stuff will be well, all languages will provide, but explicitly you need to configure in other languages. But here it will be automatically configured. That's a better point. Okay, so you can enable and disable based on the requirement. So another part is the standard based. So basically based on the open, okay, so it's in basically what I try to say, it's in support the Swagger and all and JSON based schema. So it supports the open standard APIs also. So that's open APIs kind of Swagger and all. So these are the key features. Although I think if you have some other programming languages, you know about that, but why I'll keep it this here, because what I feel before starting any languages, you should have the basic idea about the key features. So if you have the knowledge of the uh, other languages and you just want to skip it, you can do it, no issue. So whatever the things that we are going to today discuss, all things I have covered it from the FAST API documentation. So it's not explicitly written by me. So I have just taking the snaps of the things from the FAST API documentation. So FAST API, what they have written, that it's an FAST API is a mode run, absolutely fast. It's required fast, and it's a web framework to build APIs. Okay, so what I feel in this statement, the fast API is quicker to be developed the web framework or REST API as a whole. So it's absolutely quicker and easy to be used. Okay, so now the what things that make the fast API, because fast API is written in the Python. Python, we have already 2-3 frameworks. You have heard about the Flask, you have heard about the Django, and there are a lot of other frameworks also available. So but the what exactly they have done in this fast API, that it will be increasing, it will be it will be modern and high performance. And so the point is, basically they have support, they have written in Niv JSON parser, that they will say it's a UJSON parser. For the email kind of validation, it's a faster kind of email underscore validation they will use. And another, the most important part that make it a beauty is the UV-Cone server. So the UV-Cone server that loads and serves the files of the application, actually it's a responsibility of the UV-Cone server that will be served faster. So okay, now the modules that the fast what we do in the fast API. So basically in the fast API provide three types of modulars. So if you want to just write the CLI kind of application, you can just use the typers. So we'll discuss about the typers and also practical session about the typers in the next few sessions. Another one is Stellite, so it will be used for the web application part. Pydentix, it's for the data handling kind of stuffs will be included in the Python. These modules will be written in this. So all the things we will discuss, but not in this session, might be in the next sessions. But I just give you the hands of what are the things that we need to be read. So let's discuss about the Pydentix. So what exactly this is? So it's kind of a data validation and data set management using the Python type annotations. So what exactly this, in the Python you don't have explicitly specified that's int and like, so you have to but here you can enforce any type at the runtime and provide the user friendly errors and whatever the validation that you want. So if you want to write these things in the Django, you have to explicitly custom write your own function and all, but here it will just provide the inbuilt functionality. That's only the difference. So if I'm just considering an example, so today I'm not writing anything. I just, whatever the things that I have taken, these are from the official website. So what I trying to, they have suggested, if you have defined a user model, and the user model will be inherit in a base class. The user model will be ID of int name, you have defined like this, and sign up this whatever the sign up underscore ts is optional parameter, friends is a list, and it can be a blank list. So if you just want to be right here external int equal to this, like this, these things, if you are just want to be insert here, so it will not give anything error. But if you explicitly defined, it's not an optional. If you just want pass any integer value, instead of you will pass a string value, so it will throw an error. So it will be handled in the framework itself. Okay, so other languages you have to explicitly handle those things. So it's a beauty of the programming language. Okay, so now actually when I am just reading, and I am just doing the stuff of all this fast API, I think few things you should be know about the fast APIs. So one is the ASGIs, that is the asynchronous server gateway interface. So that interface, if I'll just pass talking about, if you will just go the documentation of the other languages, that will be the WSGI, that will be written in case of the if I'm just talking about Flask API. So Flask API, if you go the documentation, they written WSGI. But in case of the fast API, they have specified ASGI, so that is the asynchronous service gateway interface. So I told you the slightly lightweighted, that one is the web module. So it works as asynchronous service gateway interface. So let's discuss what exactly the difference between WSGI and UWSGI. So basically both, if I'm just talking about basic difference, lemon difference. So you know about apples, whatever the difference between the apple and the orange. So the exactly the same difference between shape will be like kind of same, but the things will be change, taste and all things will be changed. So exactly, if I'm just going to technical part, so they are both are the kind of WSGI is in protocol, but USGI is kind of you can say it's a kind of the server that implements the WSGI. So I think I have written this statement. It's not a protocol. WSGI is not a protocol. It's in server, and WSGI is a protocol. So I will correct it this one. There are okay, another feature that we just want to be discussed. So when who will be using this WSGI? So this is the communication between it's kind of everything will be written over the HTTP. Okay, so it just provide an extension over the HTTP protocol when it communicating with the server. So it provides some advanced and extra features over it. So now we will discuss. We have already the Nginx and Chios servers implementation. These are the servers that have implemented whatever the protocols we have written, WSGI. So now the WSGI implements over the server, and one of the protocol it implements is WSGI. So basically WSGI is UWSGI is a server that implements the WSGI. Okay, and basically in the if you will go in the Python specification, I have given the link over here. So WSGI is kind of a specification that is given by the Python itself. So now let's discuss more points about the WSGI, how the WSGI will be implemented. So in case of the Nginx, we have the UWSGI is deployed over the Nginx. So it's if you will see the fast uh, CGI and stand-up applications, WSGI container for the other options. WSGI application use the UWSGI protocol. You need a first use the UWSGI server first, and then it will be implementing the WSGI protocols. So whatever the things that I have mentioned, so I will discuss when we are going to deploy an application over the Nginx with the help of UWSGI. Okay, so in the next sessions we will be discuss about the practical, how we can create an application, how we can create a REST API with the help of uh, fast APIs, how we can create a database connection and all we'll discuss. So today I am just wind up the session. I would like this session will be little bit helpful for you guys. Yeah, thank you for your time.